Welcome again, Scorpio, 2018, February. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. Here is your chart for the 1st of February, and most notable is this very powerful lunar eclipse, which took place on the 31st of January, and strongly influencing this 10th house. But look at the weight of all of these planets in the 4th house. Here is your sun sign, 1, 2, 3, 4, indicating a very strong weighting related to family matters, domestic issues. But, you know, I think it's more pertinent this month to talk about how this relates specifically to your peace of mind. It's not a well-known fact, but this area of your horoscope has to do with morality, ethics, along with this 9th house. But this has more to do, even still, with the inner state of mind. So, first things first, this seems to be what is going to be, first and foremost, as something you need to tackle. Yes, this moon is in the 10th house, which has to do with your profession, full moon during this eclipse. So a lot of energy here, a lot of desire, obstructed desire, which we've seen in the past, which has, I think, due to the transit of Jupiter, giving you a lot more hope. But with this 4th house, these are like divided loyalties, lack of peace of mind, and just generally not feeling great about who you are and what it is you do. So that's important. You might try to escape that around the 3rd with that moon transiting through your 11th house of friendship, solidifying things with the favourable aspect to Saturn and Pluto. Then a bit of a low-key period for you in the 5th, 6th, here as the moon transits your 12th house, which is a low-key part of the horoscope. But around the 7th and 8th, that's nice. That's a conjunction of the moon and Jupiter here. Nice by itself, but look here. You've still got that problem with the 4th house. You know, when you see these red lines, these are what we call the hard aspects, the square, the opposition. And you see in abundance this tight problem with the karmic nodes. Your karma here is strongly influenced here. A lot of you are trying to make decisions about who you are and where the hell you want to be. So it's important for you to focus on that this month. You can see here with the conjunction of Moon and Jupiter, you'll feel better about making that sort of decision. But problems with finances are still there. Your ruling planet is in the 2nd house throughout this month. The moon passes at around the 9th, 10th. So there could be a little bit of volatility around your finances, a somewhat reactive stance. And also be careful, because there is this right angle to Neptune around that date to the 5th house, which has to do with speculative ventures. And yes, really throwing your money away when you need. More serious communications occur after the 11th. Just here you see this very pertinent Moon-Saturn conjunction, the zone of communication. And this is the area also that I mentioned in the last couple of readings, where your attitude to people and the way you're going to be presenting your ideas and the way you communicate is going to be very different. A lot more serious, although here with Mars in the 2nd house, in some systems of astrology, the 2nd house does have to do with speech. So the way you speak, and of course it has to do with money, but fortunately you have this counteractive, somber, more solid, steady approach to the way you think, so you can think things through and not allow this Mars to overtake your sensibilities throughout this period of the 12th. Very intense around the 13th and 14th as Moon transits Pluto here. And then back here, now this is the very significant new moon period, as the moon swings around here into the conjunction of Mercury, and then the new moon of the sun here on the 16th. So, although I mentioned earlier on the 1st, that full moon eclipse, it's really going to take 15, 16 days for that turning over the new leaf or the New Year's resolution to really take place here, because the new moon is all about starting things afresh, really resolving to shut up, keep quiet, be peaceful in yourself. And really that's the secret of spirituality. People want to go through all this sort of meditative stuff. A lot of that is nonsense, because most of the time you'll sit down there and your brain will still be going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So this whole discipline is about shutting up. Shut the F up, as they say. Just be quiet. I mean, this is what's needed if you really want to get to the root of a lot of the other problems in your life, such as this Mars issue. Jupiter's not going to save you here because it's in that right angle to all of these planets. Lack of peace of mind. Problems on the home front, maybe some additional worry or concerns over costs blowing out, if you're doing some renovations, that type of thing. It's nice here to see, and I missed that on the specific date. I might just go back there a little. You can see here the transit of Venus, which for you is doubly significant as the planet of love and relationship, ruling your 7th house, moving through the 5th house of love affairs. There it is, just around the 10th, 11th, moving here into the sign where Neptune is. And of course Neptune has to do with idealism and really wearing your heart on your sleeve, giving way too much to others without there being some sort of balance. You'll also notice that we see all this 4th house stuff up until the middle of the month, and then significant shift here, the moon first moving to the 5th house, then the sun is going to follow, well, Mercury first, then the sun. And this shows the shift in perception, the shift in energies and activities from this 4th house of domestic activities to love affairs, creativity. And this may be the way you're going to get back into that peace of mind, because this is one of the most appropriate ways to redirect that energy, that angst that we see here, with creative processes that can tap you into that inner child that I'm always talking about. A little bit of an upset there around the 20th, 21st when the moon transits Uranus, 6th house of work. Then the 8th house, shared resources, around the 24th. Hard aspects there again. I mentioned earlier, not being too hasty in terms of your speculation, investment. This can burn you. The square is not good. Fortunately, it's only a couple of day aspect. It brings us towards the end of the month here. The 9th house is nice around the 26th, 27th, when your educational, travel and philosophical views will be much, much more in focus. And on a final note, around the 28th, 27th, 28th, the completion of the month, back to where it was here with the moon in your 10th house of career, bringing back that thrust of energy and desire for your work. Hope this has helped. I'll be back here next month. For those of you that are new, please do join me at astrology.com.au for the text-based reading for this month. And we've also got the yearlies up now, which I think are going to help you to make heads or tails of where you are in the larger scheme of things. See you next month. Take care. Bye-bye.